What's going on, guys? Hope this is all going through well. Hope it's recording this. It should be. Welcome back. Today is Friday, the 27th. And I'm gonna do. This is my first weekly recap of all the trades that I took this week. So we're gonna go through them. I have charts. I have all the setups that I took. Everything's written down. Everything's documented. So it should be good. We're gonna go through that. But first, an essential. We have our white monster to start this morning off right. So. That's good. I did spill a little on me, but it's fine. Okay, so to get into the trade recap, I have my laptop here with me, and everything that I've documented is in a Notion, a Notion template right now. So I have my trading journal. It's all in this Notion template that I have right here. I have my break-even days, my no-trade days, and then my wins, my losses. And then I think I'm going to add a page really quick for what the total weekly P&L was. So give me a sec for that. Alright, so I just finished adding that into my journal. Now I have a weekly P&L. So what the total profit or loss was for that week. So let's just get right into it. So starting off with Monday the 23rd, that was a break-even day for me. And I'll pop this up in editing later. I have all the chart work and everything here, but I know you're seeing it right now, so I'm going to start describing it. It was basically a 30-minute tap. It was a 30-minute tap. It was a rejection out of that, and then we had a 1-minute SMT. We had multiple 1-minute SMTs, actually. They were all valid. And then we had our 1 minute, actually it was a 30-second inverse that we took that day. And we were going for a 2-to-1 risk reward. As you can see, we almost hit take profit. I think I got up to around 800 that day. Maybe not 800 because I was risking less. I think I was risking 250 to make 500. So I think I probably got up around $300, $400 and then went to break even. And for my strategy, I always go break even at a 1-to-1. So that's just, to protect me from losses. But that was that trade. A+ setup, really liked it, but unfortunately market went the other way. My bias for that day was long, so I was only looking for long setups that day. But yeah, that was, and I'll pop this on screen too, but that was, yeah, break-even day. I usually put my break-even a little bit above so that I don't have to pay any fees or whatever, commission fees or whatever. To Tradevate or whatever, the brokerage. So it says 840 on the screen, but it's a break-even day. Moving on to Tuesday, the 24th, it was a loss. We took a $264 loss. As you can see here in the trade, we had a bullish bias on the day, and this was a 15-minute that we were looking at. It was a 15-minute. We had our 1-minute SMT. We had our 30-second inversion. Or no, this was a 5-minute. A 5-minute rejection, 1-minute SMT, and then a 30-second or 1-minute inversion. Played out perfectly. Or it was an A+ setup. It was into the discount range of the range it was in, and we had good displacement going through that first that 1 minute, so that's why I took the inverse. I liked the inverse. I thought we had momentum going up, but it instantly went into drawdown, and we took that loss. I do think it was a good setup though, but I also So I took the trade too early. That's what I learned this day. I have to be more patient for when I go in, because it did end up hitting my take profit like not too far after. It had another SMT, another really good inversion, and then it went straight to take profit. So the vision was there, but the setup just didn't play out. For Wednesday, we took another loss of $259. This was a 5-minute rejection once again. We had a 1-minute SMT, and then that 30-second, you could see how much momentum we had off that candle after the inverse on the 1-minute inverse. And yeah, was into, almost got to a 1-to-1, so I almost went break even on it actually, but it did start going back down. It didn't go completely 1-to-1, so I didn't go to that break even, and we did end up getting stopped out. If I did wait a little bit longer though, a 15-minute setup or rejection did play out, and that would have been the better move, the better setup. So I should have waited for that. But yeah, that was the result for that day. For a lot of these, I'm figuring out that I shouldn't enter off the first one, off of what my instinct is, just because I want to. I should be waiting for more confirmation, another retap. It is hard though when the entry model shows up a lot, because my entry model is basically just inverse, strong inverse with momentum off of a 30-second or 1 minute, and those could show up honestly more than you'd think. So having that in mind, it is hard sometimes to determine what's the better inversion to take, or what inversion should I not take necessarily. There's definitely some refining that I could do with that. I'm not super sure how I would go about it, or what other confirmation or confluences I would look for. But yeah, that's something that I have to keep in mind. Just waiting a little bit longer and waiting for, honestly, my A+ setup is waiting for a 15-minute. I don't really like 5-minute gaps. I like 15-minute gaps. That's like my A+. So I think for some of these, if I waited for those 15 minutes, I would have had better trades this week for sure. For the 26th, Thursday, it was a no trade day for me, and that was another very intentional no trade day for me. Right off of market open, we dumped about 400 points with literally no retracement, not even until a 5-minute. It just dumped all the way down, like I said, about 400 points. So that's why I didn't trade at all that day. Once I saw that, I just got off the charts. And yeah, I'm just going to wait for Friday. So that happened. And then I did buy that day a Lucid Flex account, an eval. So I'm trying out, it's a relatively new firm, Lucid. And from what I hear, they're pretty reputable, fast payouts, and seems like a good, broker to work with. So I got some of their evals, and I'm going to be trading those. I did end up blowing though that day in Asia session. I took it was a 15-minute. I forgot to log it here, but it was a 15-minute, and it was an A+ setup, but I only had, because I've been taking so many losses on the eval, I only had about $250 worth of drawdown left, and once it went past that, it instantly got liquidated. So I blew the eval. It did end up playing out, which is the unfortunate part. So if I had some more drawdown to kind of work with, I would have been able to, get my balance back up, but that unfortunately did not happen. So I do not have a funded account anymore, which is kind of upsetting, but also I think it's going to be, for the long run, it's going to be better, because I did pass that funded off of CPI, and CPI isn't necessarily, it doesn't take a ton of skill to pass it off of CPI. So I think the next one that I do, if I do it the right way, actually building the balance up and whatever, hopefully with these Lucid accounts that I got, it's going to be a lot better for me. So yeah, I'm not too mad about it. It was bound to happen. It was going to happen. I mean, I've blown evals I'm going to blow a few fundeds. It's fine. That's why you keep working. It's fine. But yeah, so that's what happened that day. Today, though, on Friday, it's unfortunately the biggest loss of the week. So we were on that Lucid account, the eval, and we took an $815 loss. I was risking a little heavier because it was on an eval, but yeah, so going into today, I had a bearish bias, and the first trade that I took was a break even. It's an A+ setup. I did end up taking one more after that, though, just because I did, the first one was break even. So second trade was the loss that I took. It was another A+ setup with a really good inversion. As you can see on here, it had a really strong inversion and close on this 30-second right here. But like immediately once that 30-second close, it just ripped right up. And yeah, so I don't know. It was really good. It was a 15-minute rejection. It was a 1-minute SMT, 30-second inverse. So it was A+. I really liked it, but that's gonna happen sometimes. So another thing that happened today on Friday, I bought one more Lucid account, so I have just 2 of them right now. It's just because they had a deal running, and I'd rather spend a little bit more now than spend more later, just because I had the discount and whatever. So I bought one more, so I have 2 Lucid accounts right now. But okay, so for this week, we had a weekly P&L of $1,338 negative, which sucks. So what are we going to do going into next week? Or what do we think about this week? What do we think about this week? To be honest with you, I think price action was just really bad this week. And I know that's an easy cop-out to say price action was bad, that I didn't really like it. But it's been bad all February, and I'm not the only person saying it, so I think it's a valid reason why this is happening. So I think I'm hoping going into March we're gonna get some cleaner price action, and honestly just some better setups. But also I want to work on my patience a little bit. I mean, we saw this week I'm starting to do better, clearly, because I had a no trade day. I had a break even day where I just stopped. I got off the charts. That was all good. But for the days that I did trade, the 3 other days, we saw 2 out of those 3 days, if I waited for the setup to come after that, or more confirmation for the setup, would have played out perfectly. And that's something that I need to implement. Even on days when I trade, I still have to be really patient and be waiting for that A+ setup. I can't just be hopping in it just because I see a setup present itself, So that's something that I have to work on. Yeah, going into this next week in March, I'm optimistic. Always should be optimistic about it. But yeah, I am hoping we just get that cleaner price action, just because we went a whole week not winning at all, not one trade, which sucks. Alright, so with all that being said, there is not that much more to say, to be completely honest with you. I'm disappointed that, the funded was blown this week and we didn't take any winning trades, but all the reasons for why that happened are completely logical, and they're all things that I have to work on. They're my fault because that's why they happened, or they happened because of me and me messing up, so obviously you have to work through that. But I think it's good, the discipline that I've been able to grow in with these. Even just having a no trade day a few months ago, I thought I would have to take one every single day, and there would not be a day where I couldn't not be on the markets. When, now I'm realizing being off the markets more is actually better. To be honest, this week it's been really good for me, just being able to step away from it more, being less obsessed with it in a way, just because I'm not always looking at it and obsessing over it. I think it's good to be able to kind of take a break and work on other things, and maybe in the strategy, there's kind of some things that I'm thinking here. A pattern that I saw this week was, if I went 1-to-1 at a lot of these things, I would be profitable, or I would have taken some wins. So maybe something I'll experiment with next week is taking just 1-to-1s and being happy with that profit. For most of these trades, I risk a mini, and it's usually $500. It's about 25 points that I'm trying to catch, or about 50 points I'm trying to catch, to be honest with you. So if I go for 25 points with a mini, that's $500. Take a few of those a week. It's a good week. It's a good week, and it seems to be a little bit more probable than what I'm doing right now. So I think going into next week, I'm just going to experiment with it. I'm going to try 1-to-1s for the rest of next week. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to do 1-to-1s for the rest of next week. Maybe because I'm on an eval, I'll just double up in size and I'll do 2 minis instead. But I think I'm going to try that just to kind of experiment and see what the win rate is on that, or how the markets, handle maybe me trying to catch a few less points. I just need my slice of the pie. I'm not trying to catch the whole range, So I'm going to try that. We'll see how that goes, and I'll tell you guys about it next week, how it goes. But that's what I'm going to try to do. In terms of any type of psychology or mindset that I have, I think I'm doing really well with knowing when not to trade, when to step back from the charts, when I've done enough. And that's a lot of discipline that I'm learning right now, and it's only going to grow the more that I do it, keep working on it. So I'm going to keep doing that. It's been really good. My mind's been a little bit more clear recently. It's just been able to think more clearly when I wake up about the setups I'm taking, and I'm very strict about, what I'm looking for, what I want to take, what I'm willing to risk, all that. So that's what this week has taught me, and then I'm going to try to implement it next week. But aside from that, I say we had a good week. We had a good week just because we learned a lot, and I'm not going to be profitable every week. Not even going to be profitable every month probably. But the more that I can learn discipline and consistency with all this, and just being able to accept my losses because it's a part of the game, my mindset's going to be better. I'm going to be more optimistic, and I'll be in a better headspace just to, be able to work as hard as possible towards this. But anyways, guys, that's going to conclude my first weekly recap for trading this week. So hope you guys are all doing well. Have a good rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. And yeah, we'll be back on the charts Monday morning. So I'll see you guys next Friday. But yeah, talk to you guys then. Peace.